Welcome back to Central News. If a disaster happened now, would you be ready? Civil defence groups around the country are getting ready for the big shakeout on September the 26th at 9:26 a.m. There is a chance for you to take part in the earthquake drill where you drop, cover, hold. Waikato Regional Civil Defence Emergency Management Group Controller Lee Hazelwood tells Central News more about the big shakeout.
It was a nationally coordinated drill which will allow businesses, institutions and individuals an opportunity to test their earthquake response, primarily to drop, cover and hold. It will also give businesses the opportunity to test their business continuity plans.
How has this stemmed from the activity in Christchurch?
Well, Christchurch was a wake-up call for us all. It told us that we weren't as prepared as what we should be. We have learned a lot of lessons from Christchurch and we're in the process of applying them now, and we will be testing some of those during the drill.
How aware are people of earthquakes and what to do when they strike?
I would say that since Christchurch, we're more aware of what we're meant to do during earthquakes, but there's still a lot of people out there who feel it's not going to happen to them. It's not going to impact their area. In fact, here in the Waikato, we have 3 fault lines to the east of the region, but many people feel this is a safe area to live, and to some extent it is.
How can we prepare for an earthquake, as they can strike anytime, anywhere?
Well, really it's to be aware of your surroundings. If it's a new location you've gone to, it's a hotel or a new business, when you come in you really should pay attention to things like where are the exits, and if I'm staying in a hotel room, where are the fire exits. Also, and most importantly, you need to prepare your families to make sure you have communication plans in place that should an event occur, how do you communicate with one another after the event. And then also, if you are going on vacation, you should be aware of the faults around your area or the other hazards that are around your area. So, for example, if you're going to the coast, is it a coastline that's under threat from tsunamis because of earthquakes?
There's been the latest ad campaign on television, drop, cover and hold. Why is it best to get under a table or a door frame?
Well, this is based on international research and is also the advice given out by the Ministry of Civil Defence and Emergency Management. Most injuries occur during an earthquake from falling debris, whether it be ceiling tiles or lighting fixtures, part of the building structure itself, or books off the top of a shelf. So the best place to be is under a table or similar sort of structure. It's the way that you're least likely to get injured or killed.
The big shakeout is coming up on the 26th of September. What interest has there been so far?
Oh, it's been tremendous. The target at the national level is 1 million people, and we're currently standing about 800,000. And there's 50,000 of those in the Waikato alone who have come forward and registered online to say that they are going to participate. In addition, there's many businesses have said they're going to look at it from a business continuity perspective. Some have gone so far as to say they're going to run their executive meetings during the time of the drill. And then what they'll do is things like they'll take a piece of paper from underneath the seat, and a couple of people around the room will be incapacitated in some way, and then the rest of the executives will be asked, how are we going to continue business without these individuals, and things along those lines.
Fantastic, because it really can happen at any time at all. So why are you encouraging people to take part in this event?
I think this is a great opportunity for people to test their own preparedness, their family's preparedness and their employees' preparedness, and from the business perspective to test how their business is going to continue after an event.
What specifically can families do at home and people at work to ensure that they are prepared?
Well, I think the most important thing is, what are you going to do after the event? Your resources aren't going to be available, there's probably going to be a lot of things broken. So you really need to bring things with you which you might normally look towards somebody else to provide you. So it's important to have a go bag, that is some resources such as 3 litres of water per person for 3 days. Also maybe some warm clothes within a bag, any medications, and also important documentation that should be left behind in the building. You actually need it right now. It needs to be inside that bag. I have one at home and it sits right by my back door. When you're at business and when you're at work, or anywhere else for that matter, it's a good idea to have some basic essentials of water. Again, is one of them. And for example, if you're a lady and you have high heels, you might want to have a pair of sneakers in your bag, because there's going to be a lot of broken glass and debris, and it might not just be an earthquake, it could be anything. It could be a gas explosion, something like that. So we're not talking anything grandiose here, we're just talking a small bag with a few essentials.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to help people to prepare for an earthquake?
Yeah, when it comes to earthquakes, it can happen anywhere. And the important thing is no matter what the threat is in your location, you've got to think about the fact that you're traveling out of the area, you're going on vacation, you may be just simply driving around for business. So think along the lines of, I need to be prepared for an earthquake because it could happen anywhere, not just on my doorstep.
So perhaps really look at which scenario you could find yourself in if and or when an earthquake does occur.
It's worth actually sitting down with your family and practicing. I've got 2 young children, and at some point, probably a little too small now, but when they're older, I'll sit down and have that discussion with them. What are we going to do if there's an earthquake?
To find out more, head to shakeout.govt.nz. Well, that is all for today on Central News. Now, we are online and we really want viewers to be involved, so like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Leave us a comment, or you can also email us via the website or direct. Thanks for joining us today. I'll be back tomorrow with more guests from in and around the region. Until then, I'm Katrina McKinley. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.